Hello and welcome my dear students. I am Rohan sir from Mehdi English Medium School. I welcome my dear second standard students in today's English class. My dear little champs, I hope that you are watching my video regularly and you are following each and every lectures. So my dear students, as you know that we have been revising the chapters, we have been revising the theory part of it as well. Also, if you remember that we have already completed the explanation part of lesson number 4 as well. And I hope that you have watched that video of explanation of lesson number 4, in which the 2 lectures I consumed in explaining that lesson. Now that if you have remembered the story, I hope that now you will be reading the lesson, because reading is very much important as well. Now let's see what are we going to do in our today's lecture. So in today's lecture I am going to give you objectives and subjectives of poem number 2 and hard words of lesson number 4. So my dear students, I request you all to take out your books and pencils. So while I am explaining you something related to today's lecture, your pencils and books should be ready with you. And I hope that you are going to write down whatever I ask you. So basically students, in today's lecture, when I ask you to repeat certain things, you have to repeat that as well as write it down. And as you all know, as always we do, that even if we repeat it 3 or 4 times, you just have to write it once, not more than that. So just in the same way we are going to continue in today's lecture. And now I hope that you are ready with your book and pencil. Poem number 2, The Land of Pumbliboo, rhyming words. Repeat when asked and please write it down as soon as you find the rhyming words on your screen. The first rhyming word, please write it down and repeat after me. Boo, zoo. Repeat it second time. Boo, zoo. Repeat it one more time. Boo, zoo. Okay, I hope that you repeated after me, and I even hope that you have written it down. So B double boo, Z double zoo. Last 2 alphabets are same and it sounds like almost same, so that is why it is a rhyming. Correct? Boo and zoo. Moving on. Foxes, boxes. Please write it down as soon as you see on your screen, and please repeat after me. Foxes, boxes. Repeat it one more time. Foxes, boxes. Just carefully listen to me and repeat after me one last time. Foxes, boxes. Okay, just a different is the starting part of that word. Moving on. Cats, hats. Okay, now repeat after me 3 times and please write it down. Cats, hats. Okay, second time. Cats, hats. One more time please. Cats, hats. Okay, I hope that you are repeating as I am doing it, you are pronouncing it as I am doing it. Okay, next one is blue, glue. See, ba and ga, starting difference. Please write it down and repeat it along with me. Blue, glue. Repeat it second time please. Blue, glue. Okay, one more time. Blue and glue. Many of you have the habit of pronouncing this as blue and glue. Okay, it is also fair enough. So even if you want to pronounce it as blue and glue, it is good. It is, the choice is yours. Now moving on to poem number 2, question and answers. Here I am going to repeat it 3 times. I am going to explain it. Make sure while I am explaining you question answers and the scene of the answers, you should continue writing the answers, because otherwise you will not be able to complete it. And please do not write the questions, as questions are already there in your textbooks. So later on you can just write down the questions from the textbook. So for now I hope you are writing it in your rough book and not in your fair book, because this is not the correct time to write in your fair book. So just write the answers as soon as you see the answers on the screen. If I am explaining you, okay, you have to listen to it, but at the same time you just keep on writing. Question 1. Which animal do you never see in the land of Bumbleboo? Answer. Please start writing. I'll read it 2 times and I'll explain you 3rd time. You would never see a gnu in the land of Bumbleboo. I shall repeat it one more time. You would never see a gnu in the land of Bumbleboo. So if you remember, that's 3rd stanza of the poem, in which it was clearly written that you would never see gnu, G-N-U, gnu. G is silent again here. So it was clearly written there. So if you have read the poem carefully, if you have understood the explanation, you should be knowing this answer. Now please repeat it 3rd time and the last time with me, and then I'll turn it. And I hope that you have almost written this. Okay. You would, I hope you are repeating, you would never see a gnu in the land of Bumbleboo. Clear enough? Okay, I hope that you have written this, and I hope that you remember this answer, because there is nothing, because half of the answer is from the question itself. Okay, question number 2. What are the trousers and hat made up of? Means with what, using what the hats and the trousers are made up of. Obviously in the land of Bumbleboo, not in where you reside. So let's see. The trousers and hats are made up of pumpkins and pelican glue. This was clearly written again in the stanza. So I'll repeat it 2 more times, and so that you will be able to write, and the 3rd time, students, remember you have to repeat after me. So the trousers and hats are made up of pumpkins and pelican glue. Just note the spellings properly when you write it down. Okay, 2nd time I am repeating. Just write it as fast as possible. The trousers and hats are made up of pumpkins and pelican glue. Okay, so this is the 3rd time I am going to repeat, students, and 3rd time you also have to repeat after me. Though you are writing, please repeat. The trousers and hats are made up of pumpkins and pelican glue. I want you to repeat the spelling of pelican after me. P-E-L-I-C-A-N. Pelican. Please repeat it last time. P-E-L-I-C-A-N. Pelican. Okay, clear enough? I hope that most of you might have already written this. Moving on, to the next question. What is the name of the poet of the poem The Land of Bumbleboo? Means who is the poet of this poem The Land of Bumbleboo? That is what is asked. Answer is Spike Milligan is the poet of the poem The Land of Bumbleboo. So this is the name of the poet. Okay, students, before you write, make sure Spike Milligan. So name and surname, that is S and M, both the initials should be capital. Do not forget to do that. Okay. Now keep writing. I'll repeat it 2 times for you, and the third time you also have to repeat after me the same format. Spike Milligan is the poet of the poem The Land of Bumbleboo. Second time, Spike Milligan is the poet of the poem The Land of Bumbleboo. Clear enough? Okay, third time I am repeating, students, and you know the third time you also have to repeat after me. Spike Milligan is the poet of the poem The Land of Bumbleboo. Okay, I hope that you have written this clearly, and you also are repeating after me, because it is very much necessary for you to repeat. Okay, so this is the poet. Spike Milligan is the name of the poet. You should remember this. Maybe I may ask you in the objective form, in the MCQ form, in the FB form. You should remember the name and the spelling. So please spell this after me. You have to repeat this spelling now. SPIKEMilligan. Spike Milligan. Again, please repeat it. SPIKEMILLIGAN. Milligan. Spike Milligan. One last time, please. SPIKEMILLIGAN. Spike Milligan. Clear enough? It is very easy, nothing is hard, just you need to practice. Okay. Question number 4. How can one go to the land of Bumbleboo? So how is the way? What is the way to go there in the land of Bumbleboo? Though it was fantasy, it was imaginary, but there is the line written in the poem. In the last stanza, poet says how to go to the land of Bumbleboo, and here is the answer. One can go to the land of Bumbleboo by catching a train. So this was the way the train leaves at 1. This was the line in the poem, if you remember, students. So the train is the way the poet says to go to the land of Bumbleboo, but actually it is the world of fantasy, it is not real. Correct? So I am going to repeat it 2 times for you to write it down, and then the third time you have to repeat after me. One can go to the land of Bumbleboo by catching a train. Second time I am going to repeat. One can go to the land of Bumbleboo by catching a train. Please repeat it third time with me. Though you are writing, please repeat it. One can go to the land of Bumbleboo by catching a train. Clear enough? Okay. I hope that you have written this answer, and I hope that you remember the poem in which poet says that the train leaves at 1. That means poet asks you to hurry up and go with him in the land of Bumbleboo and leave that place happily, because there was everything unusual there. Nothing was like a normal human over there. Okay, I hope that you have written this answer. Now moving on, my dear students, to lesson number 4, hard words. Now you know that you have to give next new heading on the new page, especially the lesson changes here. First you were writing poem number 2, rhyming words and question answers. Now you are up to lesson number 4, which I just explained you in the previous few lectures, and hard words I am going to give you here. So now hard words you have to repeat 3 times after me. All the 3 times you have to repeat, and also you have to write it once. First word is, please repeat after me, Gajanand. Gajanand. Let us repeat it second time. Gajanand. Gajanand. I hope you have written it once. Please repeat it third time after me. Gajanand. Gajanand. Do you remember, students? Gajanand was an inspector. Correct? He was a very famous inspector and he was known for his case solving ability. Within no time he used to solve the cases. Isn't it so? Okay. So now I hope that you know. And also, students, please, I would like to draw your attention towards here. Gajanand, G should be capital, as Gajanand is a name, it is a proper noun. Always I have been telling you this. Still I will tell you so that you will not make any kind of mistake. Second spelling is, please repeat after me, Vikram. Vikram. Please write it down. Vikram. Vikram. I hope that you are repeating after me, students. It will be very much beneficial to you in your pronunciation enhancement. Okay, let us repeat it third time. Vikram. Vikram. So the first 2 spellings were Gajanand and Vikram. I hope you know both of the characters. You are familiar now with both the characters. One is inspector, one is the constable. Isn't it so? Who was always there with Inspector Gajanand. You see, always with inspector, 1 or 2 other constables are always there to, if the inspector wants anything, the help, always constable is there with them. Third spelling, please repeat after me. Also write it down. Charan. Charan. Let us repeat it second time. Charan. Charan. I hope that you have written this also, that you are repeating. Please repeat it third time. Charan. Charan. Fourth is Puran. Puran. Please repeat and write it. Puran. Puran. Let us repeat it third and the last time. Puran. Puran. So students, if you remember that Charan was the landlord, was the owner of the house where the robbery happened, and Puran was the cook in the house of Charan. And Charan was very much tensed, if you remember the story, after he saw that everything is stolen from his house, and Puran was the one who even saw the robbers coming towards the house. So if you remember the story, Charan and Puran were also one of the main characters over there. Moving on to the next word, COOK. Please repeat after me. COOK. Cook. So when there are two alphabets of same kind, we use double instead of saying O two times. Please repeat second time. COOK. Cook. Let us repeat it third time, and I hope that you have already written this. You all are smart enough to write this within given time. Let us repeat it. COOK. Cook. So, do you know the meaning of cook, my dear students? What do you mean by cook? There, you can use it either in the form of noun, either in the form of verb also. Correct? Mom is cooking food. So, this is the use of word cook in the verb form, isn't it so? So when mom is cooking, you say she is cooking. That also means cooking. But if you say cook, that means you are referring to him as a person who usually cooks at your home, who usually prepares dinner for you and prepares lunch for you. That means you are referring to him as a cook, or him or her. So even if you have heard, or I don't know if you haven't heard the word chef. Chef is also the one, the cook in the hotels, isn't it so? So, Puran was the cook in Charan's house, if you remember, correct? Okay, now next word is, please note it down, it is bit hard for you, or harder I say, comparatively. CON, please repeat after me. CONSTABLE, constable. Okay, let us repeat it second time, and I hope that you have written it. CONSTABLE, constable. Please write it down. Okay, let us repeat it third and the last time. CONSTABLE, constable. Okay students, see, why have I put this line? To show you that you have to leave one line after each hard words. For example, if you written this on the first line, leave second line and then write next on the third line. This is the way how you are going to do, because usually teachers, you say, why should we leave one line? Yes, many of the question to teachers, teacher, why should we leave one line? Why should we waste our lines? Okay, you are free to ask question. So your answer is, see students, if you are leaving one line, so while correcting the books, it happens like if you have written one or two spellings incorrect, you have spelled it. So if teachers want to correct it, they can either write on the upper line or in the lower line. Yes, on the above or on the below line. So you leave the line, you leave the empty lines for the teachers to correct it. Sometimes even in the question answers you leave the line, so teachers can rewrite it if you have written it incorrectly. So it is for the teachers to correct. So it is good habit even to write it leaving one line, so that your work looks neat and clean. Okay. So we wrote fifth and sixth one as cook and constable. Constable, the one who is there with Inspector Gajanan. He has not as such as high post as inspector has, but he is always there with inspector for the some or the other work. So done. Moving on. The next word, let us see. Seventh one. Okay. Now please repeat after me also. Needless to say, again and again, write it down. ROBBERY, robbery. Okay. Please repeat it second time. Let us do it. ROBBERY, robbery. Let us repeat it third time, and I hope that you already written it. ROBBERY, robbery. Correct? Robbery took place in Charan's house, so it is a kind of activity. Robbers attempt to do robbery. Correct? It is done by robbers, the thieves who come to steal the precious things from our house or from anywhere, from the shops even. Okay. Next word is, please repeat after me. INSPECTOR, P-E-C-T, inspect. Let us repeat it second time. I-N-S-P-E-C-T, inspect. Clear enough? Okay. Robbery and inspect. I hope that you have written. And inspect means, if you remember that Gajanan went there to inspect the situation. So inspect in the sense to inquire about something, to ask the questions, to get the details regarding some situation or something. That is called inspection. Yes, police always does the inspection. That is, they inspect the situation. So here in this story, Gajanan went to inspect the situation inspect the spot of robbery, where the robbery took place in the Charan's house, correct? So he went there to inspect and to find out that who was the original thief. Moving on to the ninth one, hard. H-A-R-D, hard. So hard means difficult also, or something which is stiff also, it is called hard. You say the book's cover is hard, correct? So there are two meanings here. Hard means it is very difficult. So repeat after me, H-A-R-D, hard. It is not hard. Yes, I have heard many of the students speaking like this, hard. No, it is not like that. Repeat it second time, H-A-R-D, hard. Okay, you cannot say head. You cannot totally ignore the alphabet R. So carefully listen to it and pronounce it last time, H-A-R-D, hard. Clear enough? Okay. 10th one is H-O-U-S-E. I hope students you are repeating again and again. I won't say H-O-U-S-E, house. Repeat it second time, H-O-U-S-E, house. Let us repeat it third time, and I hope that you already written both of them, both of the words, H-O-U-S-E, house. Now there is nothing to be explained to you regarding house. House, you all know, where you dwell is your house, where you reside is your house, where you live is your house. Clear enough? Okay. Moving on to 11th one, students. Please repeat, P-A-U-S-E-S, pauses. Let us repeat the same word second time, P-A-U-S-E-S, pauses. Okay. Third time, let us repeat it, P-A-U-S-E-S, pauses. Clear enough? Okay. I hope that you have already written it. Now 12th one, J-E-R-K. Please repeat loudly so that your pronunciation will be clear. J-E-R-K, jerk. Let us repeat one more time, J-E-R-K, jerk. Okay, one last time let us repeat, and I hope that with that you already must have written J-E-R-K, jerk. Okay. 13th one, S-E-A-R-C-H, search. To search something, to find something, to seek something. Okay. A second time, let us repeat, S-E-A-R-C-H, search. Okay. Let us repeat the last time, S-E-A-R-C-H, search. Okay. 14th one, P-O-T-A-T-O, potato. Okay, it is potato. You all know, you all eat this vegetable. P-O-T-A-T-O, potato. Clear? Moving on to 15th one, EMPTY, empty. Please write it down and repeat after me. EMPTY, empty. 16th one, SACKS, sacks. So it's a plural of sack. Sack means, I showed you that in which the shopkeeper poured or stored the grains, the rice and every single thing in his shop. He packed it into the sack. So this is the plural form, sacks. Okay, let us repeat it one more time. SACKS, sacks. Okay, so with this, students, I end my today's lecture. These were the hard words, and in the next lecture hopefully I'll give you the remaining thing of lesson number 4. Till then, stay home, stay safe, keep your books complete. Goodbye.